Yo, what up? It's your boy Bowie in this mug. And we about to talk about this motherfucking Tanya today. Yes, we are. And the reason why is because there's been a hell of a lot of discourse surrounding Tanya's look in this trailer. People have been talking about her outfit. Some people have mentioned her gameplay. Others have mentioned her hair. Others have mentioned her face. You know, basically her appearance is problematic. And they use this still right here to try to prove their point. Trying to say that the girl looks ugly because, you know, her face looks weird here. Not realizing, or perhaps not caring, that A, NRS is always funky with facial animations, especially women's facial animations. Women's faces in these games historically look strange right up until the very last second. And so, yeah, I admit that still of Tanya doesn't look the greatest, but that still doesn't represent the entirety of what her face looks like. You mean to tell me there's supposed to be something wrong with this girl's face right here? Something's supposed to be wrong with her face. I even heard somebody sit there and joke that she had a unibrow. Where's the unibrow? I don't see one. And it's because they're talking about this still right here where you can clearly see that there's a shadow across her face. Trying to say that this has a unibrow, or this image shows her having a unibrow. Kiss my ass, man. You know, to me, it's quite ironic that, you know, out of all the multitude of characters that have gotten a makeover or redo, Tanya is the one that causes all the derision, all the negative discourse. And there's been a ton of it. Not just on Twitter, neither. On Reddit, on YouTube, on Test Your Might, anywhere where people are allowed to list their opinions about the game, there's been negative comments about Tanya's appearance. And it's not her face looks kind of weird because of the animations, or NRS kind of, you know, took this pretty woman and messed her up. No. They've been harassing the face and voice actress of this game. And people have had all manner of criticisms surrounding this character. And this video is going to attempt to address them, because they are varied. And some of them are sensible, but many of them, truth be told, they are indeed rooted in anti-blackness. A deep-seated anti-blackness that is most likely subconscious. You know? So, what are some of the criticisms? One criticism that I saw was that this character does not remind them of the Tanya that they knew. That this character doesn't look or play or feel like Tanya. This is not the traditional Tanya that we're used to. Bruh. There has been no traditional Tanya that you are used to. In every single game, Tanya has looked different. She's had a different hairstyle. She's had a different outfit. She's even had different weapons. They've only ever added weapons to her. There's been some constant characteristics. Tanya has always been a brown-skinned black woman. Well, sometimes that brown skin has been lighter in other games and stuff like that, or than in other games, but she's always been a black girl that wore yellow. She's traditionally always had some kind of weapon, some sort of signature weapon. She's always had her split kick and her drill kick. That's about it. Oh, and then she's also always been known for treachery and deception. That much has held true. But other than that, her projectiles have changed. Some of her moves have changed. Her weapons have changed. Her look has changed. Her hair has always goddamn changed over time. You understand? And you know what? If you don't believe me, I'll even show it to you. Dig this. So, this has been Tanya's traditional appearance. She had sort of a weird ass, dopey ass hairdo, and it looked like this, making her look kind of like Bye Felicia and shit from Friday, right? Then, in Mortal Kombat Deception, they went away from this hairdo and gave her, you know, more of a wig / weavy wonder look here. Looks nice, but I want you to notice the radical departure. Notice her eyes were not white. She did not have markings on her. All you see is the black and yellow. They gave her a little bit of a skirt here. This alternate is very reminiscent of her MK4 look, but her hair is different. Then we move on to Mortal Kombat X. And again, they changed her up one more time. I don't know what the hell this is. MKM? Not sure what that is. But, oh, it's Mortal Kombat Mobile. The mobile game. Anyway, notice they changed her style again. They kind of gave her this hairdo here a little bit, but they cut it. You know, made her look like somebody's auntie a little bit. But you had the black around the eyes, and then eventually they gave her glowing eyes again, like she had in Deception, which she did not have in 4. But notice, this outfit don't really look all that much like these two, and it damn show don't look like this. Right? But it's only here that they decided to make the girl Egyptian. Right? This is from the mobile game. Looks kind of cool. I ain't gonna front. I fuck with this. But it's based on the MKX stuff, basically. Right? Because she didn't have any alternate uniforms. This probably would have been her alternate in those games. And so that's been her historical look prior to now. So let's get back to that video. Yeah. So now, fast forward to today. Let's go to Tanya. So now, this is a new timeline. Tanya has black and yellow, as she's always had. Except the black looks a little too gray. But they put some white elements, some brown elements. You know, they gave her a new weapon. But now, her hair somewhat loosely resembles what she wore in MK4. Except it's much more Africanized. As a matter of fact, the entire character is much more Africanized. You know why? Because she's part of an Africanized royal protection unit. They are basically African warrior monks. They're not monks, but they swear a vow to chastity and piety. You know what I'm saying? These are warrior priestesses. Priestesses. So there's sort of a religion involved in this. So you have more or less warrior nuns that protect Melina and the royal family. That's what Tanya is now apparently the new leader of. So let's consider that when we talk about her appearance. So she's a warrior, right? And the name of the group is Umgadi. Umgadi is a Zulu word meaning guardian. It's a Zulu word. That's African. The character and the outfit and shit, the whole idea of the Umgadi is African. And she's the leader of it. And she black. They're using spears. It's African, bro. So this premise that this Africanized royal group of guardswomen, that's what Tanya is now a part of. So she's gonna have to look the fucking role. That means no, she's not gonna have a bunch of makeup embellishments. No, she's not going to be out here trying to attract men, because she's a goddamn priestess whose job it is to guard the royal family. And yes, they are Africanized as a motherfucker. Yes. And frankly, I like the move, because for some reason, people seem to think that Egypt is not the same as black. And to them, I ask the question, where is Egypt located? Is Egypt a part of Europe? Because last time I checked, Egypt was in the continent of Africa. And yes, Africa is a continent, not a fucking country. Get that shit right. Egypt is located on the continent of Africa. The people that were born on African soil were called black people, right? So if the whole rest of that continent is filled with black people, and I'm talking prior to colonization, right? Because obviously a bunch of South Africans are white, but we know that they are the descendants of colonizers, right? So colonial Dutch settler, well, not settlers, Dutch colonizers that came in, you know, they settled over there and all that type of shit. Not to mention all the other various European colonizing ass nations that went and plundered Africa, you know. But anyway, prior to colonization, all the people on that continent were considered black, right? In every country. So since Egypt is one of those countries, doesn't that make the Egyptians black? Yeah, it does. I don't give a damn if they have lighter skin. It's what happens when you are next to the Mediterranean Sea and you happen to be next to the Middle East. You might have some race mixing going on there. So all the people there are not going to wind up looking brown skinned. Some of them are going to be mixed. But guess what? They still black. Not to mention, Egypt has had a bunch of run-ins with foreign countries whose people likely mixed with the Egyptians, thereby making their skin look a little bit fairer than the people in West Africa. But guess what? They are still black. If you have a black person as one of your ancestors, it don't really matter how far back it go. We consider that shit to be black, don't we? So when people sit here and try to draw some sort of distinction between Egyptian and black, that shit is just hilarious to me, because I'm like, bruh, your ass don't understand geography. Egyptians are black, bro. Just like Spaniards, you know, the ones that live in Spain, are considered white now. It ain't necessarily true. Just like Irish didn't used to be considered white and all that kind of stuff, but now we consider Irish to be white in America and abroad. And given the fact that the people that live on the continent of Africa, I'm talking about the native people that were born there, we call them black, and they have an excess of melanin because of the climate of Africa. They black. All the people in every country are black. That includes Egypt, bitch. The fact that people don't understand that or don't want to accept that is puzzling and troubling. So, yeah, Tanya was always black, and you saw it live. And they've kept some themes of her looks, but really they haven't really done that. Notice her hair changed with every game. Her look changed with every game. Her weapons changed with every game. And now, finally, Tanya went from being a generic ass, evil, do-batter person who's just deceptive, you know, to now being a character that's pretty goddamn important. I mean, she's the guardian and potential lover of the Queen of Outworld. Which would potentially mean that has a bunch of potential ramifications for the story. So if Melina goes rogue, Tanya's gonna probably wind up going rogue with her. Or if Melina wanted to usurp the throne, it probably means that Tanya might have had something to do with Jared's death. Or maybe Tanya is still on her deceptive bullshit, but because of her proximity to the throne, it could have major ramifications to the story of what happens in Outworld. My point is, now she's going to actually have lore that's worth a damn and actually contributes to the story of Mortal Kombat, rather than just being the evil equivalent to Jade. You see what I'm saying? And even Jade's more important than Tanya in terms of story lore, but yeah, like, my point is this, bro. They elevated Tanya. They gave her a major glow up in terms of her lore and story and theme. And so, no, she's not going to be the same as she once was. No. And no, she's not going to be this glammed out ass model-esque woman who's trying to, you know, steal glances from all the guys. She's a fucking warrior priestess. Just like Lee May. Notice she and Lee May ain't really wearing makeup like that. Why? Because they're warrior priestesses. Katana and Melina, they can look pretty, they can look beautiful because they're royalty. They ain't got no vows. They make the politics in Outworld. They can look the way they want to look. But their royal guard? No, they have to be pious. They have to be chaste. That's their vows. So that means they're not going to be running around here trying to be attractive to every male onlooker that will gaze upon them. And that includes us, the audience. Stupid. And that means no, they're not going to be running around looking sexified and shit like that. Even though they are powerful, even though they are beautiful, they're actually more than that now. They're more than just, you know, eye candy for the male glaze. They represent something more. And I, for one, am here for it. All of it. I very much enjoy Tanya's new look and her new role. Now, included with that new look is Tanya's new hair, which, again, we've discussed. It's changed every fucking game. But this new hair of hers is mad dope. Absolutely African, as is the rest of her outfit. So hell no, we don't need to be changing the forehead adornment. Hell no, we don't need to be changing the collar. We don't need to be changing no armor. No, nothing. If y'all want to change something, put some more yellow and black on that bitch. Take some of them, you know, some of the silver elements and make them yellow or black. But even still, they really ain't got to do shit. They really ain't got to do shit. You know, Tanya's redesign is very well thought out. It's purposeful. It's unique. And it's actually really, really cool and fits her new role in this timeline. You know what I'm saying? And anyone that doesn't see that, you just seeing what you want to see. You just want to be stuck in the past. And that's very, very strange considering that I've been playing this game in this series for longer than most of y'all. I'm the one that got all the motherfucking titles. If I can learn not to be stuck on these niggas in the way that they traditionally looked or whatever, why y'all can't? You know what I'm saying? Besides, when it comes to hairdos, Tanya isn't even close to having some of the worst hair. That award goes to Smoke. And then runner-up goes to Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Actually, Scorpion's not too bad, because we've seen Scorpion wear a ponytail before, but Sub-Zero, Sub ain't got no business wearing no goddamn bun. I don't give no fuck. I don't give a damn. But yeah, one thing about Mortal Kombat that is constant is change. They change the meta of the games with each title, and I've talked about how that can be problematic. They change the roster, they change the big bad, they change the mechanics, they change a lot of shit from game to game. And they change the characters drastically too. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay, as long as they respect the core elements of the character. And they've really done that with Tanya. Tanya still looks and feels like Tanya. I mean, her look is definitely upgraded to fit her new role as an African guardian priestess. You know what I'm saying? So that is much appreciated. But my point is, shit is different now, and y'all just gonna have to learn how to accept that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you find yourself disliking Tanya's appearance, especially her hair, and you can't readily explain why, frankly, you need to look in the mirror and look in your soul, because you probably prefer black women that have straighter hair textures. You probably think it looks more professional than when they wear more traditional black hairstyles. You probably feel less comfortable around a black girl that has weave over one that don't. You might think girls with box braids in their hair or cornrows are more likely to be ghetto than ones that don't. You might even think being ghetto is exclusively for black girls, as if ghetto ain't a mindset that anybody can have.
Are you unwell, princess?
And again, these are not things that are, in the front of people's minds. Oftentimes they're in that subconscious, buried deep within. People have to pry that shit out a lot of time. And so, given the fact that, the Western world especially, but the world globally is full of anti-blackness, it stands to reason that the vast majority of people have absorbed some anti-black sentiment, particularly directed at the appearance of black women. Basically deeming black women acceptable mostly when they appear more Europeanized. And Tanya is the furthest thing from that in this game. And I think that threatens people. I think it threatens a lot more people than care to admit it. And motherfuckers can say, you can disagree with me in the comments if you want. That's fine. But all you got to do is go to Twitter. All you got to do is go to Reddit. All you got to do is go to YouTube. All you got to do is go to TYM and any other place where people can gather and collect their thoughts. And you'll see that the anti-Tanya discourse is wild as fuck. Alls I hope is that NRS does not budge on this. I mean, obviously they do have some tweaking to do with everybody's face models, because I think even Sub-Zero looked kind of weird. Johnny Cage looked kind of weird in the face. Liu Kang looks pretty alright. But, some of the facial animations of characters look kind of odd to me. They've already made improvements to Melina, because the Melina in that first trailer, she kind of already looked ugly. But in this trailer, they done made Melina kind of fine a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she looks much prettier than she did before. And so, if they want to highlight some of the natural beauty of Tanya's face model even more, they're certainly welcome to do that, and they're probably going to do that anyway. And I hope that they do something about some of them facial expressions, because some of those facial expressions fall a little bit flat, you know what I'm saying? Even Smoke's face looks kind of weird to me. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely a thing with faces in NRS games that they always have to adjust and shit, and they're going to. That's the main thing. They're gonna adjust those faces.
For you to hold the throne, we must
But
keep your secret.
that's about it. They don't need to change shit else about Tanya. And I certainly don't support them doing anything where her hair is now more Europeanized. Fuck that shit. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. You already have a black girl with long flowing hair. Her name is Jade. It's okay if we have a black girl whose hair looks black and good. You know what I'm saying? But in any case, I just want to say Tanya looks fantastic. Tanya looks beautiful. I'm probably going to try Tanya out for the first time because of the way her gameplay looks in this trailer here. You know what I'm saying? So, given that fact, I'd say NRS accomplished their mission. You dig? So with that being said, I'm about to be out this motherfucker. 1.